Okay, I think I'm done with bracelet. What do you think? I think it turned out pretty good for basically about 5 minutes each end, maybe about 10 minutes total. Looks pretty close to what's on that side. Kept it high polish, and yeah, this would be so much less of a fingerprint magnet. That high gloss polish, it was fingerprints everywhere and smudges, and this will hide it a lot better. And I generally like a brush look more anyways. It just gives it that more raw or industrial kind of look to it. And this would be pretty easy to maintain. You get a scuff. It doesn't show up as much for one thing, and if you do quick polish with this, you know, if I wanted to, I guess I could put it back to a high polish finish, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back. I really prefer this look more. Now the trick is this guy. Oh, by the way, if I haven't mentioned, this is the Tokyoflash Rogue. This is the first version. I used to have one of these in black, and it's a little, I guess, micro brand in Japan. It does all sorts of cool digital quartz movements with very unique, you can call them alternative, if not also a cryptic displays of time. But this is actually one of the easier ones. All you got to look at is well, this one actually lights up. It looks more teal in here, but it's actually definitely much more of a green. But what you do is the inside is the hour marker. So if it's blocked off at 12, then it's 12, and at 3, then it's 3. Very simple. The minute markers are actually, there's two parts. There's like a general one, which is this heavy larger blocks on the outer ring here, and then if you look closely, there's like a fine track on the outside too. This will actually give you the more accurate reading. So right now, I believe it's if I'm reading this right, it's about almost 1 a.m. It's almost there. It's like probably 12:50. Just 2 more blocks. Wait, now it's 12:59. You can see this better. Anyways, I'm going to try to do this whole watch in this brush finish. I think it's going to look a lot tighter. Yeah, I was saying I used to have one of these in black. It's pretty cool, but I never wore it as much as I thought, and so I sold it. But then recently I've always thought about this, and they've come up with other versions, but I think the display is much more complicated and to read at first. It's almost got a spiral kind of look to it that goes kind of like this and like that, and it definitely takes longer to read. And I like this simple, you know, what they call a natural looking LCD, and you just turn it on for the light. Other ones, they have some of the other ones in this kind of configuration, but most of them have a color film or that's on the inside, making it blue or red. It's actually kind of harder to read, to be honest. And I don't really like the case shape of the newer ones. It's called the Rogue, like as in Rogue Squadron, Rogue One, the movie Rogue. And this one's just the Rogue. I think this might, actually they do have another version. I think it's called the SR2, which is pretty much like this, maybe all black, and they do have a screen, that little film that covers it to give it a permanent color instead of having to turn on the LED. But if you want to read the light, you still turn it on, and it'll just show up as a film color. But yeah, I didn't want that. And I was going to say the Rogue Touch, and even there's a pocket watch version, which I also had both of those before. Yeah, the case shape is a little bit more plain. It doesn't have a bezel, and there is a touch screen instead of these buttons, but I find it a little bit boring. This watch is surprisingly substantial in weight. It feels like some of my mechanical automatic watches, and which is surprising because when I had the black one, it didn't feel like that. It felt kind of light and toy-like. Well, maybe I'm remembering the touch version, which I think is lighter and the bracelet's even thinner. Anyways, I think I am going to try to brush the surface because it's going to be weird just to mask it off. You know, brush it up to this part, which you can see that this imaginary line that's just right, you know, it angles down right below the bezel and on the side too. Just to do that section, I think I should follow through somehow and just brush it. But I'm gonna need to mask off the sides here first. Yeah, I think I'm gonna carefully mask off all around this edge. Keep this high polished. Just where there's that first, I guess, bezel or cut, whatever, that angles it the other inwards. That's when I'm going to start to brush it back out. That's because that's the hardest line. Everything else is pretty brushed. So that's one thing I do is just mask that off. And I should probably protect the crystal first too. I'm not going to do this tonight. I'm going to probably carefully mask it off tomorrow and then find some time to go at it. It's going to be two parts too. It's going to be masking the sides and the crystal, just protect it, and then first working on the surface that's right around the bezel. Probably take this and kind of carefully follow it like that. Right, once I got that established, then I can actually, I'm going to tape it across here and then rebrush it back down here because it's going to be all kind of crisscross before that. And so just finish it off so it matches this bracelet. So it follows down there. And then after that's done, mask off everything around this bezel. And of course keep the crystal mask. And then apply a brush around the bezel with this. And I think that will look pretty sick. Alright, that's it for now.